The nation of Sumeru is the land of wisdom, where the greatest minds put to history collaborate and realize their true potential to appease the scholastic standards of the academia. But how far is someone willing to go for wisdom? What boundaries of human morality and capabilities should be respected when pursuing knowledge? Sumeru is the land of uninhibited erudition. This video will be the first of a three-parter series about Sumeru and the potential plotlines that might be covered in the future updates of Genshin Impact. This video is merely a speculation and is not indicative of any final product of the game. Please be warned. But let's begin. Why is Sumeru the sands of scholars and sinners? The nation of Dendro was once ruled by the god of the woods, until their life was taken during... The nation of Dendro was once ruled by the god of the woods, until their life was taken during the Cataclysm. The current deity that the people worship is the Lesser Lord Kusanali. The name Kusanali itself is derived from the Pali words Kusa, or the Kusa grass, which is a sacred plant, and Nali, which is a hollow stalk or tube. She is the god of wisdom, and is annually commemorated by the people of Sumeru. Her birth is yearly celebrated in the Sub-Xeris Festival, or the Day of the Grass, according to Sayed from the Windbloom Festival. However, the Lord herself may not be such a harmless wallflower. Dainsleif's quote about her shines a perspective. The god of wisdom's enemy is wisdom itself, and the oasis of knowledge is a mirage in the desert of ignorance. In the city of scholars, there is a push for folly. Yet the god of wisdom makes no argument against it. I believe that his line references the blur between the people of Sumeru daring to trespass on the limitations of morality and human capacity simply to squeeze every ounce of mystic and scientific knowledge from the land. But let's begin with the nation itself. The land of Sumeru is known for its arid deserts and rainforests. The nation itself takes inspiration from the Middle East and Southern Asian cultures. According to the Genshin Wikipedia, the name Sumeru can be derived from the 5 sacred peak mountain of Hindu, Jain, and Buddhist cosmology, and is also known as either Mahameru and Sineru. The inspiration of the nation actually brings forth a lot of the ancient knowledge trope in which Sumeru is supposed to be the center of all things scholastic. Mount Meru was known to be the center of all the physical, metaphysical, and spiritual universes, which would play with the thought that the Sumeru Academia is where most scholars converge to learn about the mystic arts. The land of Sumeru may also be a derivative of Sumer, which was a civilization located in Lower Mesopotamia. The Middle Eastern inspirations are also known for their extensive scholarship in the ancient arts, such as the Babylonians being considered advanced in the sciences during their time, and the Library of Alexandria in Egypt being one of the largest and most significant research institutions and archives of knowledge that the world had. To that, we must look at Sumeru's prized institution then, the Academia. The Sumeru Academia is the top scholastic institution for the mystic arcanum and the historical records, birthing and forming some of the greatest minds and most powerful people in Teyvat. Lisa, Senora, Dottore, and Sino are some of the known past and present students of the Academia. However, it is known for both its prestige and inhumane work standards. The Academia itself treats the students that enter through with almost impossible criteria. Those that study are put through long and tedious work conditions in order to meet the Academia's standards. Al-Rani and Hosseini lament over their thesis, and Soraya is quite exhausted with the amount of rejected manuscripts she had to face. Even Lisa, who was an outlier known for only needing 2 years before graduating, promptly left the Academia and voiced her distaste with how mentally expensive seeking uninhibited erudition could be, after personally seeing the mad scholars in Sumeru's forests. It also seems that the Academia does study the divine, but dares not meddle too far into the arts. There seems to be a line that they aren't willing to cross even with the pursuit of knowledge. The sages of the Academia were eager to research the subject of the vision holders, but also cast aside the mere prospect of Dottore's research into enhanced humanity. According to Dottore, whatever working style is present in the Academia could not provoke any kind of research breakthrough in his subject. Regardless, The mere fact that the people studying in the academia regard it as draining and exhausting is heartbreaking. The practices of an educational institution shouldn't sap a person's inherent motivation for learning. And while yes, they are known to be prestigious and well-regarded, the mere fact that even those at the top are losing their own want to pursue knowledge speaks volumes on just how unforgiving the Sumeru academia truly is. But perhaps maybe that is why there are those that want to pursue knowledge without seeking the permission of the academia. Because those that enjoyed untold wisdom gain the mind to question, and prosperity brings pride and ambition. How long will it take for the human mind to question the authorities of the heaven? After all, even the God of wisdom herself treats knowledge like a currency, a resource that can be shared and gained and kept. So who is to say that humans won't sacrifice everything to attain the profoundest knowledge?
A human is nothing more than a machine of a certain complexity. Cultivating and creating such a machine is not beyond the realm of possibilities. If one were to disassemble a part of this machine and make enhancements to it, its performance could be greatly amplified. With or without a vision, and irrespective of their physique or combat skills, enhanced humans would surely display strength far beyond the average.
The prospect of researching Archon residue and the effects it has directly on the human body. The Fatui both in Inazuma and Sumeru have done quite a copious amount of research. The research on weaponizing the anger of the gods began in Sumeru, before it transitioned into the other nations. This project was spearheaded by the Fatui Harbingers, Il Dottore, and the Sumeru division was overseen by Barnabas. The research of the Fatui found amazing results. Firstly, children were the most effective vessels for direct injection of the regent, perhaps for their strong vitality and susceptibility to wild emotions such as anger and grief. One of the survivors of the project was a young girl named Kole, who still harbored the energies of the angered demon, which is a demonic, malignant, supernatural creature in Persian folklore. The research proven in Sumeru was what inspired Scaramouche to pursue the Tatarigami. Strong anger and wrath can fuel greater amounts of strength. Many lives are lost to the vile experiments of the Fatui. The sins of the scholars who dare overstep their boundaries simply for the tiniest hope of understanding the mysterious world around them.
When a person throws away everything for their ambition, how much of themselves do they truly lose?
The standards of the academia and the perversions of the Fatui are both two sides of the same coin. One takes every bit of eager passion from a person and demands consistent perfection through restrictive and suffocating standards, even at the cost of the person's well-being and sanity, while the other exercises freedom of knowledge and research, but abusing said freedom they have to delve deeper into topics forbidden, treating even human life as an expendable source. Two sides of the same coin indeed. But the problem is, the Archon might be aware of this. Aware that in the city brimming with scholastic intelligence and an abundance of opportunities for great minds to come together, there exists an unhealthy precedent of obsession and unjust acts to simply gain knowledge, but the God of wisdom makes no argument against it. Perhaps it is because knowledge is holistically managed as a resource. And who is to say that the god herself isn't capitalizing the most important currency in Sumeru, or even in Teyvat itself? After all, we seek knowledge of our sibling. So who is to say that once a traveler arrives, she doesn't just immediately deny us because we haven't done anything of fair trade for her? Perhaps she doesn't know about the Fatui's horrendous experiments. or the academia's standards? Or she does, and just chooses to be ignorant? Because will she really put a stop on endeavors that further science and knowledge? Knowledge that could put her nation above the others, especially in a time of diplomatic unrest? Perhaps doing so is not the wisest decision. Thank you for arriving at the end of the video. If you enjoyed this kind of content, please consider joining our community at Discord and supporting me at Patreon and Twitch. This video is the introduction of a 3-parter series, but the next video will be much more concentrated on a particular character, rather than the grand scope of Sumeru's plotline. Nevertheless, thank you so much for watching. My name is Aster, and thanks for chilling with me.